that night, I thought I was safe until unseen fingers traced my skin and a hot breath curled at my ear. Fear tangled with something darker, yet the true horror was still to come. I remember the silence of that night pressing against me like a weight. The room was still, the kind of stillness that doesn't soothe but unsettles, making every small sound echo too loudly. I lay on the bed with nothing but my own skin and thin fabric between me and the cold air. My body begged for rest, yet unease curled deep in my stomach. I told myself I was tired, that nothing waited in the shadows, but part of me already knew something was wrong. The air shifted first. A heaviness spread through the room, subtle but undeniable, as though the walls themselves leaned closer. I swallowed hard, trying to calm my breath, but it came shallow, uneven. My skin prickled as if touched by invisible eyes, studied in the dark. I turned slightly on the mattress, searching for comfort, and that's when I felt it. The faint dip beside me. At first, I told myself it was nothing. The bed creaked sometimes under its own weight, but the movement was too careful, too deliberate. My stomach tightened, my fingers clutched at the sheets, and my chest ached with the effort of staying still. My mind screamed to look, to switch on the light, to run. Yet I froze, waiting. The touch came next. So faint I thought I had imagined it, fingertips brushing the curve of my thigh. My breath caught. The contact lingered, not random, not accidental, but purposeful. My body shivered in betrayal, goosebumps rising as if each nerve had been woken at once. I pressed my lips together to silence the gasp clawing its way out, terrified that any sound might invite more. But it didn't stop. The mattress sank deeper. Knees pressed into the sheets on either side of me, caging me in. My pulse thundered, filling my ears until nothing else existed. Then came the breath, hot, slow, too close. It curled at the back of my neck, brushing over my skin in a way no dream ever could. My throat tightened, fear surging, but shame burned just as hot, because a part of me leaned toward it, craving the warmth even as terror locked me in place. I whispered to myself that it wasn't real, that I was trapped in a nightmare. But the whisper that followed shattered the lie. It wasn't in words I could clearly hear, but I felt its meaning as if carved into me. Mine. My chest heaved, my body trembling as though pulled in two directions at once. Terror told me to fight, but something darker urged me to stay. And in that unbearable tension, I realized the night had only just begun. The weight behind me deepened, sinking the mattress until the sheets stretched tight beneath my body. My lungs fought for air, but every breath came shallow, uneven, as if the air itself resisted me. The presence was no longer faint. It was here, close, claiming. The touch returned, bolder than before. Invisible fingers slid across my waist, tracing a deliberate line that made my stomach twist. I clenched the sheets, desperate to anchor myself, but my body betrayed me with a violent shiver. My skin felt electric, every nerve lit, and shame coiled inside me because I wasn't only afraid, I was waiting. I whispered, "Stop," into the dark, but the sound was weak, swallowed by silence. The answer was another caress, slower, lingering, exploring. My chest tightened as the hand drifted higher, pausing just below the edge of my ribs, holding there as though savoring the tension that knotted through me. The air thickened with that same intoxicating scent, earthy and faintly sweet. I inhaled without meaning to, the fog seeping into me until my thoughts blurred. Terror burned in my chest, but something darker pulsed beneath it, undeniable and consuming. And then came the re-hook, because as terrifying as it was, I knew the worst had not yet come. The mattress shifted sharply, unseen knees pressing harder into either side of me. I was caged completely, unable to move. Heat hovered at my ear, breath curling against me with deliberate patience. My pulse stumbled, my lips parted, and the whisper came once more. Not loud, not even spoken aloud, yet clear as if etched into my bones. Mine. My body jerked, arching involuntarily. Shame burned hotter than fear, but the presence seemed to relish it, pressing closer, holding me tighter. I tried to scream, but my throat closed around the sound. All that escaped was a strangled gasp. One had answered with another stroke, this time across my stomach, lower, dangerously close to where fear and desire twisted into one unbearable knot. The blanket slid further down, pulled by unseen force, until the cool air kissed my skin. I clutched at the sheets in panic, but my grip meant nothing. The weight pinned me still, savoring my helplessness. My heart hammered, my body quaked, every second stretching into an eternity I could neither endure nor escape. Then the lamp flickered, once, twice. A dim glow shivered across the room, casting broken shadows on the wall. For the briefest instant I saw it, something leaning over me, darker than the dark itself, bent too close to be anything human. My breath hitched, my body locked, and before I could even comprehend what I'd seen, the light died. The room collapsed back into suffocating black, and in that endless silence, I realized the night was far from finished with me. The darkness pressed down on me like a living thing, heavier than the air should ever be. My lungs clawed for breath, each inhale sharp and broken, every exhale trembling against the silence. The mattress groaned beneath me, sinking lower as the presence shifted closer, pressing its weight against mine. The touch came again, no longer tentative. Fingers dragged across my stomach, slow and deliberate, pausing just long enough to make my heart lurch. I gasped, twisting weakly against the invisible hold, but the grip only tightened, savoring my resistance. My body shook, torn between terror and the shameful ache coiling deeper inside me. Hot breath curled at my ear, closer than ever, steady and suffocating. My lips parted, unbidden, and the whisper followed, not loud, not human, but undeniable. Mine. The words sank into me, heavy and final, vibrating through every bone. My chest heaved, my body arched, betraying me again. I clawed at the sheets, desperate to escape, but the blanket was already gone, pulled away into the shadows. Cold air wrapped around me while the unseen weight pinned me tighter, savoring every shiver. I whispered, "Stop." The word cracked, useless, and the silence devoured it. The only reply was another touch, lower this time, tracing so close to where fear and forbidden desire collided that my vision blurred. Then came the re-hook, the moment I thought nothing more could happen. The bed frame creaked, long and low, as if something adjusted its weight directly above me. My pulse faltered, each beat erratic, my throat closing with dread. Heat hovered at my lips, the space between us charged with unbearable tension, and then it vanished. The warmth dissolved, the scent faded, the pressure lifted all at once. I gasped, dragging air into my lungs as though resurfacing from deep water. My body shook violently, and I scrambled upright, eyes scanning the room. The dresser, the chair, the curtain, all still, all harmless. But then I looked down. 2 deep indentations pressed into the blanket at the foot of the bed. Knees, perfectly still, perfectly real. My breath hitched, my chest locked. and before I could scream, the marks began to move, dragging forward inch by inch toward me. I froze, my body paralyzed, heart pounding so hard it hurt. The indentations reached the edge of my legs and vanished. The fabric smoothed as though nothing had ever touched it. The silence roared back, thicker than before, humming with something unseen. Even now, when I close my eyes, I wait for it. The warmth, the whisper, the claim. Because once something touches you like this, you never truly sleep alone again. Have you ever felt an unseen touch while you slept? Share your story in the comments. I want to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe to Paranormal Sleep for more terrifying midnight encounters, because the next story might be yours.